they come. It's Chelsea against Burnley in the Premier League. One chasing the top four, the other clinging to the division. 3 points will feel like an absolute must for Liam Rosenior. And the Chelsea boss is without Esteban today, absent as a hamstring precaution. Robert Sanchez continues in goal, 9 clean sheets so far this season. Marc Cucurella is out injured, so Malo Gusto shifts to left back. Reece James returns to captain the side from the right. There is a 50th home Premier League appearance for Chelsea for Moises Caicedo at the base of midfield. Pedro Neto scored a hat-trick in the Cup against Hull last week. He keeps his shirt and he'll support João Pedro in attack, who's been full of goals in his first season at the Bridge. And fans here will be delighted to see Romeo Lavia take his place amongst the substitutes. He's been out injured since November. Well, after 9 costly changes in the Cup, Scott Parker reverts to the same team that beat Crystal Palace. Martin Dubravka is searching for a 50th Premier League clean sheet. This is the back three we're expecting from the start, although Josh Laurent found himself further forward later on against Palace. Hannibal scored the goal that turned the tide in that match. He's in midfield with an ex-Blue Ugochukwu. Zian Fleming is the hold-up man, but the main threat comes from out left, from the boots of Jadon Anthony. And if they need it late on, James Ward-Prowse could provide set-piece ammunition later in the game. He has scored a free kick on this ground. So almost all set at Stamford Bridge. And Lee, you've picked out a couple of players that you want to focus on before kick-off.
Yeah, I mean, João Pedro's been out.
So Burnley have won the toss. They've turned Chelsea around. Chelsea would prefer to be shooting this way in the second half, but it's not to be. Lewis Smith gets us underway. Cole Palmer delays the kickoff, and we are all go in West London. Burnley have only ever taken 8 points off Chelsea in the Premier League, but curiously, 7 of those have come at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, it's a crazy stat, this, isn't it? It really is. And as you said, it might just tee today up quite nicely. Both sides, obviously, want to be taking all 3 points. I think the disappointment for Chelsea is that, as you said, in the last Premier League game against Leeds, leading and not getting all 3 points, that would have been a disappointment. But today we continue on, don't we? Burnley desperate to avoid and get themselves anywhere close to getting themselves out of that bottom 3.
That is the challenge today against the Chelsea team, who have been in really confident mood, especially
and just echoing what you said, since he's become a Chelsea player, he really has stepped up the ante, and I think that's what they've really missed over seasons. Someone who can put the ball in the back of the net, someone who can be a threat. He is an out-and-out threat, particularly in this style and this method of play that Chelsea playing with lots of influential attacking players. He is a handful. Like this man, Jadon Anthony, I mean, he's been a standout player, really has. I mean, goal contribution has been one that jumps off the page. He's been the shining light for Burnley, and he'll want to keep that form continuing on, whether Burnley win or lose, because, again, he could be one of them players that certainly catch the eye of Premier League teams.
Both sides in their pre-match huddles. Stamford Bridge was a brief chapter in Scott Parker's playing career. He did win the PFA Young Player of the Year in his first half season here, but a year later he was on his way to Newcastle. And he will hope that his team are as together as they showed at Selhurst Park a couple of weeks ago. But you get the feeling they can't rely on fighting back from 2 goals behind again today. Since they made their managerial change around the turn of the year, Liam Rosenior arrived, maybe not high on reputation, 1 or 2 eyebrows raised when his name was first mentioned. Those eyebrows are starting to flatten.
And that's the fact with Liam, it's about having that aura about him. Well, that wouldn't have fazed him, and it hasn't fazed him one bit, has it? I mean, he's been quite relentless since he's come in. He's brought a massive tune out of this Chelsea side. This is Ross tweaks. The right side of this side of play. The first thing I've noticed about the lineups is that Burnley are actually starting at flat. So I do feel that will be an interchange on that right-hand side. I do think it will be all about a bit of protection as well. The possibility of João Pedro drifting out on that left-hand side, and we know what Enzo Fernandez has been all about this season. Amongst the goals, box crashing like Frank Lampard, and he was asked about Lampard this week. He said, "You can't compare me to Frank Lampard. He's an icon of Chelsea." Here they come with Pedro Neto, tricky from the left and cutting the ball back, looking for Palmer. Important boot from Joe Worrell. Sending it up to halfway, and Caicedo caught slightly flat-footed. But the clean-up operation is done by Wesley Fofana himself, just returning from the What a wonderful through ball. Neto has got it round the back. Cuts the ball square to João Pedro, and ball and goalkeeper across the line. And Chelsea have the lead after just a couple of minutes. Come on! Well, we told you about his goal-scoring prowess. He has taken to his Chelsea move like a duck to water. But 6 yards out, João Pedro was never going to miss. It's an 11th of the season for him.